Well, here's a sound check for the microphone. I have no idea if this is actually working or not, but we've got it in the helmet. Don't sniff a lot. I think that bloke's actually living in that van. Poor bugger. So we'll go down to some local roads, because I don't know whether you can see that or not on the dashboard, but I'm running on reserve, so we'll go for a short little ride and see if this camera is going to work. And I've never ridden and spoken before, so I'm not sure if I can ride and talk at the same time, walk and chew gum. We'll soon find out. But, this is just my local area where I live in Penrith, and they've decided to put speed humps in, which don't bother me too much, but apparently cars have to slow down over them. I don't know, don't drive a car often enough to know. Certainly a nice day to be out. I am, however, very self-conscious when I'm riding and talking to myself, because I'm wondering, can everybody see me talking to myself? Especially just at those lights just there. Are people going to go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Anyway, be that as it may, we're going to give this a crack. And we'll see how it goes with this whopping great GoPro hanging off the side of the helmet that looks like a house brick. There's a little test for wind noise anyway, because the wind is certainly in my ears, but whether it's in the microphone or not, I just don't know. Watermelon Mustang, eh? Don't know if that works for me. Thank you, Mr. Greenlight. Double lane roundabouts, you gotta love them. Yeah, everybody's behaving. Very good. Really have to get some petrol today. G'day, boss. It's alright, we'll do that at some point, probably. Anyway, well, that's not a bad view this morning. That's the Penrith Lake scheme down in there, or the start of it. Could be worse. And that's the Blue Mountains over there. We're at the foot of the mountains here. So just doing a little loop here of the local area. It's very nice in there this morning. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up, but because the camera's on the other side of the helmet to that, but anyway. Go for a little trundle down here. Local cricket game. Get into it, boys and girls. Oh, look at that old dog. Loving it. I reckon there's a really nice house up in there somewhere, judging by those gates. Those gates are probably worth more than my house, but never mind. So we're basically skirting around the edge of Cranebrook here, doing a loop around the Cranebrook housing estate. It's nice to be able to be sort of, you know, well, 5 minutes from home, and there's a bit of open space and some bush, and the Penrith Lake scheme. This is a, just up here on the right, there's a big, actually up there is Castlereagh Cemetery, and there's graves up in there from the First Fleet, or just after from when the First Fleet arrived and colonists first came to Australia. Anyway, up here on the right is a one of the many nature reserves that are around here around the Penrith area. You can sort of walk through there, and I used to mountain bike through there when I was a lot fitter than I am now, but that's it, just in there on the right. You can ride around in there, walk around in there. I used to take my bird lenses for my cameras, and there's kangaroos in there. There's heaps of native bird species and that sort of stuff in there. Quite a lot of people get in there doing photography and that sort of stuff. So that's, I can't pronounce the name of that one. It's an Aboriginal name. But anyway, it's one of the nature reserves. All the tracks are marked. They've all got names. There's another one out at Windsor called, funnily enough, Windsor Nature Reserve. There's another one out at Agnes Banks Nature Reserve. There's Castlereagh Nature Reserve. There's a few of them around, and they're really good places. You can get in the middle of them. They're only sort of a couple of hectares each, but when you're in the middle of them, you feel like you're away from everything, because there's no car noise or anything, and there's certainly not very many people in there, and they're good places to go just for a little bit of a bush experience close to home. So yeah, it ends just there. So as you can see, road past it's fairly big, and there's still some market gardens out around here. That's one of them there. There's a few out around Windsor, people growing food. Don't know what they're growing right there now, can't see it. This roundabout's a bit of a trick, so I'll just try and concentrate a bit here. Oh, g'day. Lovely. I see that guy around a bit on that little brap. Stay there, trucko. Don't know why, but everybody seems to want to go fast around this roundabout, including this bloke coming up on my right, on my left. We'll get ahead of him. Thanks, brother. So yeah, it is nice in the local area just to be out, and there's plenty of good roads to ride out here, especially when you get up in the mountains and that sort of stuff. And this is the other side of the nature reserve that we passed just down that other road before the roundabout. That's the other end of it in here, and it ends just up here with you can get your mountain bikes and that sort of stuff in there. People walk their dogs in there. I am having problems maintaining my speed and talking. I'm hoping that's something I'll get used to. I just figured out then that I was holding everybody up and was a bit under the speed limit. But I'll have to try and concentrate on that. And that's where you go into the nature reserve in there. It's still the nature reserve in there, and that's all private land in there on the left. That's the end of the nature reserve there, up that road. Well, I'm down to 2 litres of fuel, but that's alright. I'll head home and I'll head out again at some point today and just top the tank up, and then hopefully go for a bit pardon me, that's breakfast. A bit of a ride tomorrow. Get into the bush up around the Colo River and that sort of stuff. Beautiful up there. Well, that's very purple. Alright, just about home again now. We'll bloke up there on a Ducati giving it everything it's worth. We'll hang a left here and head up into home. I have put a bit of stuff on this bike since I bought it, which I'll go through in another video once I get things sorted out in terms of film and sound and that sort of stuff. One of the things I did want to be able to do was stand up like this, which I now can thanks to some bits and pieces that I put on the bike. It's much better in the bush standing up in certain areas, although this bike is not too bad in the bush. I've got some much better rubber on it now, which I'll go through again in a later video. Steady there, thank you. People don't realise what a bad rider I am. So there you go, I've only got 2 more turns now till I'm home, or 3 turns. So I'll leave this video here. Thanks for watching. I'll put up a whole heap of stuff about the bike at some point. I'll do some more rides, so I'm hoping that you'll stick with it. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, bye.